You're tuned in to the Thinking Out Loud radio show, giving voice to issues that matter to you.
All right, guys, we are back, and I'm excited about this segment here. Again, we're calling this a celebration of Black cinema, and in this second segment of our interview with beautiful and talented actress Kiana Evans, we got our top 5 Black movies of all time. So I'm excited about this segment. Her and I have not talked at all about what our movies are. So who knows? We may have picked some of the same movies. We'll see. And if you're watching on Thinking Out Loud TV, you can also drop your movies in the comments. Let us know what your top 5 Black movies are as well. But I'm gonna shoot it over to Kiana Evans so she can give us. We're gonna start at 5 and go all the way to 1. So Kiana, what's number 5 for you?
This is tough. So number 5, I'm gonna go with Poetic Justice. I mean, you got, first of all, John Singleton, okay? You
Right.
can't lose John Singleton. But we got my girl Janet, we have Tupac. I mean, it's just like the classic hood love story. That's what I went with for my number 5. Just, you made it hard for me.
With Poetic Justice, Janet Jackson, Tupac, yeah, that's a good one for a top 5. So my number 5, I went this way with number 5. I wanted to because the list is all your all-time favorites, of course, but I wanted to give some credence to a movie that I just saw that came out this year. In fact, One Night in Miami, man, directed by Regina King. That movie was awesome movie. One Night in Miami, fictional story of Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, Malcolm X, and Jim Brown all together in one motel room. This is an actual event that took place, but the fictional part about the encounter was the dialogue, because nobody knows what they talked about in this motel room. They all did come down to Miami to watch Muhammad Ali fight. I believe it was Sonny Liston, and afterwards they met up, and of course, again, the conversation was fictional, but it kept your interest from start to finish. So that's number 5 for me.
And I mean, Regina King was in Poetic Justice, and then here we are years later, her directorial debut. So I mean, I think that kind of lined up.
Hey Kiana, what's number 4 for you?
It's gonna be What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh, wow.
Another oldie. I mean,
Yeah.
The leads were African American, but I mean, Angela Bassett, like one of my all-time favorite actresses, and Lawrence Fishburne together. I mean, and come together after Boys in the Hood. Yeah, I mean, their on-camera chemistry is just amazing. But the story of Tina Turner and Ike Turner, and all the craziness that went into it, and the amazing acting that happened to bring that story together, I felt like I was there moment, and I was pissed, you know?
Yeah, okay, all right. What's Love Got to Do with it? Number 4. I'll give you that one. Number 4. What's Love Got to Do with it? Now, my number 4. I'll say this before I say what it is. My number 4, movies of all time for me. And if you know when the movie's a classic when you remember the lines to the movie. When I wrote my list and I started crossing movies off, I crossed them off based on, if I can remember some of the lines or the characters, and then if I couldn't, then it couldn't have been one of my favorites. So Friday, number 4.
I took that off my short list. That was on my long list. I'm like, it's a classic.
Friday
Yes.
was my number 4.
Oh,
And it was going to be even a little bit higher, but because that's the kind of movie you could put on at any, put on the weekend or Friday night. You could put it on a Friday night, or Saturday night, and pop some popcorn, eat some pizza, and watch it like this is the first time you've seen this movie. And the movie the movie has been out forever, it seems like. But the cast, Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Nia Long. I mean, it's an all-star cast, and I think this movie really launched most of their careers. Regina King was in this movie too. So, hey, Friday, it was going to be higher, but I ended up having to put it at number 4. But again, this movie could have been number 1 for me.
so close to your wish list, my number 3.
You took Friday off.
I tried to have a little variety, but I mean, it's some things you can't even rank them. It's just like it is. It's just it's just legend. It's classic. It just will never go away.
All right, so that was my number 4. So Kiana, what's your number 3?
Moonlight.
Oh, okay.
Directed by Barry Jenkins.
Wow. Okay, you went there. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because it's something that I had never, unlike anything I had ever seen before, a love story of 2 young black boys, the character trying to find himself, going through, struggling with things like the drug addiction of his mother, and just the way that it was shot, just the beauty of the movie, the cinematography. It was just beautifully shot, and the story is unlike any other story I've seen told from the black perspective.
Okay, now I have to admit I haven't seen Moonlight, but it did win. Did it win a Academy Award or was nominated?
Yes, for Best Picture.
For Best Picture.
2017. Yeah, it did.
So I haven't seen that movie. But I might have to check it out because it's on your top 5. My number 3 is Black Panther. The Black Panther.
Oh, another one that was on my long list. I took it off the short list. Okay.
The Black Panther is on my top 5 because this is the first legitimate black superhero movie. I mean, we've had some black superheroes, so to speak. I mean, you want to think about Shaft, for example, Black Dynamite, Black Lightning is a television show, but Black Panther is a legitimate Marvel superhero. And when the movie first came out, of course it took it. I couldn't see it right away because the first of all it was sold out most theaters. I mean, people really went out to see this movie in droves. And Chadwick Boseman did a phenomenal job as Black Panther. Rest in peace to him. A phenomenal black actor. Wakanda forever. I got to do that. Wakanda forever.
Forever.
I got to do that.
I totally agree with that. That was just another one. It's just like, it goes without saying. There's some movies where you feel like you can't even rank them because they're just, I felt like it just changed the world.
Now we're getting close. What is your number 2, Kiana?
I'm gonna go with Black Klansman.
Oh, Black Klansman. Wow. Okay. That's a Spike Lee movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't seen that one. Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Just another movie where just the story, it was, I would call it a dramatic comedy. Going undercover, a black man going undercover as a white Klansman and outsmarting the KKK, doing it with some humor to it. And loosely based off of a true story. Spike Lee did an awesome job with that, and the acting was superb.
My number 2 is Coming to America.
Which
T.O.
one?
Coming T.O. The first one.
Okay. You got the right
T.O.
one.
Coming T.O. I'm making sure. Not T, not two, not the number 2, but coming T.O. America.
We would have had the same list if I went with my first mind for all of these. I was trying not to be too predictable.
Wow. Coming to America again, going back with Friday. The reason Coming to America was in my top 5 is because that is the kind of movie that you remember the lines. You know everybody's lines. The barbershop scene was obviously the best of the movie when Eddie and Arsenio was playing all of those characters in the barbershop. You know. If I'm gonna call him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. Yeah, you know, that was those iconic scenes. And the only thing I hated about, I almost took it off because I was disappointed in the sequel. I'm sorry, guys. I know you watching, and I'm saying it on Thinking Out Loud TV. I'm sorry. It was the worst. The disappointing part about it is it took 20, 30 years. It took 30 years for them to do a sequel, and everybody was old and ready to, I don't know.
I call it the worst, but it's just some things that you shouldn't mess with. I'm a strong believer with that when it comes to films, but
Right. Yeah.
I think I would have been disappointed without seeing it because Coming to America was just fine.
This was not as good as the first one.
That was a setup for a letdown.
Kiana's top 5. Let's run through the list real quick. So your top 5 up until this point has been what?
Poetic Justice. Number 4, What's Love Got to Do with It? Number 3 was Moonlight, and number 2 was Black Klansman.
Right. All right. So my top 5 up until this point: One Night in Miami, number 5. Number 4, Friday. Number 3, The Black Panther. And number 2, Coming to America. So, Kiana, tell us what your number 1 is.
Oh, you ready? Right. It is, my number 1 is Queen and Slim.
What? Queen and Slim, you said?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Tell our listeners why Queen and Slim is your number 1.
I think I'm a sucker for a love story.
Most of your movies have been love stories. Moonlight, Poetic Justice.
And Queen
I
and
think
Slim,
most women are like that, though.
Yeah, and this one was like the ultimate love story, and it speaks to the times, a lot of what the political climate of today and what's going on with the police. They're pulled over by a police officer and end up killing the police officer. So now, they're on a first date and they're on the run together. The way that their love of each other kind of develops in the face of, the fear of their own deaths, because what happens, if you get caught. It's like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, but the part that really spoke to me is just like the Black love coming together, and how you just don't know how quickly you can, when you remove all of the distractions, you can learn about a person and come to love them so quickly, like it was always meant to be.
My number one, guys, is iconic biopic, Malcolm X. That is my number one of all time. Denzel Washington played the iconic Muslim leader Malcolm X, and it's a movie. I know it was 3 hours long, but every time I sit down and watch it just you get drawn into the times he became Malcolm X, and you watch him. But you forgot that Malcolm X was not in the movie himself personally, but he's being played by someone. So that's our top 5, guys. We love to know what your top 5s are. Feel free to leave it in the comments. We love to get your thoughts and your feedback about our top 5. What's your top 5? And we may be on point. You may disagree with it. It's all good. But we're celebrating Black cinema right here on the Thinking Out Loud radio show. We're going to take our next break, guys. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with this beautiful and talented actress, Kiana Evans. We'll be right back. It's the Thinking Out Loud radio and TV show. We'll be right back.